Gemini, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for September 21st to the 27th. My name is Athen. So let's go and have a look at this week. We've got a lunar eclipse in your 10th house, which is Pisces. A culminating point, always very, very powerful, these lunar eclipses, and it is about the culminating point over the past 6 months with anything new that you've started in relation to your work or your career or anything on that public level. There's a lot of insight to be gathered here. It is a spiritual lunar eclipse energy because it is in Pisces. It's a total eclipse, so very intense, but again, it's Pisces, so it's internalized. It's about reflection. And for you, it's perhaps how to gain more spiritual satisfaction and more fulfillment in your career, in your work, which is always so important for you, Gemini, since Pisces does rule or is usually on the cusp of your 10th house. So with that being said, as the week unfolds, since that'll be on Sunday, you'll be feeling that energy more and more. That's going to go exact at 22:47 Eastern time on that Sunday evening. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of aspects this week, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and go through it one by one. Starting off with this Saturn sextiling up to the North Node, which has been an ongoing transit and is going to continue up until October 11th. This is a flow energy of the life path, and it's quite nice to have this during the eclipsing time period. For you, it's about the seriousness that perhaps you've been putting into in regards to your self-expression and communicating your passions in life and creating things. Maybe it's been a business, maybe it's been entrepreneurship, maybe some of you had a new child, and this has been the early stages of it where it's you're putting in that hard work. So whatever it is, it looks quite supportive this week. It's an easy aspect, Saturn sextiling the North Node, supporting that self-expression, that creativity, playfulness, and creation energy, as well as the home and family stuff. There's a lot of energy unfolding for you around the 4th house, which is about your roots in life. Can be home, family, past. And so with the sun here, you're probably quite intent on it, and that's great. And with Mercury retrograde, your ruler, you're still in this sort of reflective time, perhaps rethinking about questions relating to, home and family and yourself and what your goals are and things like that, which is exactly what the Mercury retrograde period is for you Geminis. It's that reflective time. And again, it's good too to pay extra attention to what you're involved with and to give everything that extra conscious attention, which perhaps we normally take for granted or don't give that attention to. And so in that way, you can be learning quite a bit about yourself and quite a bit about your emotions and your sentiments in life. And all of that, this early part of the week in particular looks very supportive with Saturn. So anything that you're doing with home and family, spending time with family, renovating, moving, things like that, it can be an opening and easy flow pretty much all the way up until the 11th of next month, with, of course, sometimes being better than others because of the aspects. I would say this early part of the week is certainly the easy energy. As you can see, there's a lot of blue energy, and then things start to become a little more challenging as the week unfolds, which I'll talk about. But also this early part of the week, Venus does trine up to Uranus, so this is quite exciting actually, and for you, it's involving that self-expression since Venus rules that 5th house, and also spiritual and alone time. Maybe some new opportunities there, but maybe some opportunities to communicate, to learn, read, write, share. If you haven't already seen plenty of those opportunities, Jupiter's been transiting this 3rd house of yours, so there should be plenty to learn, plenty to convey, plenty to communicate right now at the moment. And you can find that very enjoyable this week. This might be an opportunity at work or something like that, just providing more of that energy for you to do those sorts of things. And all of that can be quite motivating this week as well with Mars there. Then on Wednesday, the sun does sextile up to Saturn, so there is a passion, and the passion is again relating to things on the home and family level. I think there's a lot of intent there, and again, Saturn sextiling up to that when the sun goes over that North Node does signify there's probably quite a bit to learn about where you're headed in regards to that 4th house stuff. Now things start to shift gears here around Thursday, Wednesday to Thursday. Mercury squares up to Pluto. This is very important for you Geminis because it does involve your ruler. So here the emphasis, especially because Mercury is retrograde. In fact, this is the 2nd aspect. It's already happened once. So you're already thinking about probably how to step into your power with your one-on-one connections, with relationships, how to draw the line, assert yourself in a healthy way. And that energy here is saying that there's maybe something going on this week involving that. So bring the extra attention to compassion, bring the extra attention attention to the present moment, which is the best way to work with Pluto, and take things slow, especially anything relating to home or family, and you'll find that very constructive when you are open to that. And again, treat it all as that learning process, which is that Mercury retrograde. Then going pretty much this whole second half of the week, Mars does square up to Saturn. So for all of us, this is that 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of energy. So being patient this week in particular, involving those communications, involving correspondence, make sure you're crossing your T's, dotting your I's this week. Square up to Saturn does suggest that, especially in your 5th house, is that you might have to bring extra attention to what you're expressing, to having fun and creating things, or maybe it's that small business or whatever. But you have to, watch what you're conveying, watch the conversation, the communications, bring extra attention to that. Watch any over or under extremes of the communications. Send that extra email if it's something that you feel like you might need to do to make sure the message gets across or whatever. That's the kind of energy. And but you could be quite direct, quite wanting to take care of things, but maybe there's some things sort of holding you back, and that's okay. Just be patient. Work 1 step at a time. Remember, it's a long-term kind of energy, and that's the best way to work with Saturn. Now, Pluto goes station direct this week here on that Friday. So Pluto, again, you've been learning probably quite a bit about stepping into the power with relationships, maybe making change in relationships and having non-attachment to those one-on-one connections. So everything you've learned in regards to that over the past 6 months, you can start to apply now that Pluto's moving forward. Now, this is going to be subtle over the next couple of weeks and months because he's a very slow-moving planet, but there might be a shift. There might be some understanding here shifting about that power. Again, it's healthy power, it's mutual respect, but it's respect for yourself as well. So something's there, and it could be prompting a lot of this constructive energy where you're communicating, you're expressing yourself, you're putting that extra attention into that and making sure that the messages are getting across and that you are conveying what's important to you and what you're passionate about. Then during the lunar eclipse, which is going to be Sunday evening, all of this is going to be culminating into the awareness of your career, your public life, things of that nature. It's a great time to reflect on that, lots of awareness of that. And again, possible culminations for those of you who've been working on this part of your life, probably for the past couple of years, because that's when the solar and lunar eclipses have been taking place in that 10th house of yours, all culminating these very powerful transformations there. All right, Gemini, so have a great week. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you all next time. Take care.